So, 2012. It's coming up in a couple years from now. This is something I'm sure all of you have heard something about, even in the sense of being as simple as Mayan doomsday, because that's a lot about what people hear. It's difficult to say whether or not the mainstream is going to change its opinion on 2012 as actually being something a little bit different. Basically, my perception of 2012, Mayan doomsday is a simplification. Understand that it is a shift in consciousness now. What does that mean? Well, what do we mean by consciousness? That's something we'll get into a little bit more. Basically, we're talking about 2012 in the sense that we're talking about perceptions. We're talking about what other people think. We've gone out, we have interviewed people, whether or not what they think about 2012 the movie, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about 2012. We're talking about 2012 the movie, which is being released by Columbia TriStar, which is owned by Rockefeller, which is theoretically influenced by the Illuminati.
Oh yeah, yeah, we are jumping right into it right
now. Yeah. I mean, basically, I can say my opinion on 2012, but I mean, it's not like my opinion, it's just the information that I know. We'll have some links attached to this video of people who have shared their opinion that we have interviewed so far. Thank you to all those people. Those people are actively part of the community, or will soon be as the community continues to evolve. But yeah, basically, feel free to click on that. We'll have that link available, and then you can jump back to this. But by all means, the point of this discussion is, I don't know, Brock, what's the point of this discussion? You tell me.
You know what, guys? We're pretty much just fed up of this one-minded, single-tracked opinion. On 2012, everyone says doomsday, or they bring up Zecharia Sitchin.
Who's Zecharia Sitchin?
Zecharia Sitchin, well, I guess I should go in to explain this.
Should you? Can we just provide a link on the page?
Yeah, let's throw up a link for Zecharia Sitchin.
That's the thing, guys. As we'll be talking, there might be links that we feel are beneficial, and we'll add them in post. So if we don't talk about something, but there's a link at the bottom, check it out because it's probably relevant to what we're talking about. So, anyways.
All right, yeah, back on to Zecharia Sitchin. I won't go too deep into him, but he was mainly with Von Daniken back in the 70s. These two guys were major influences and kind of bring up a new age kind of theory. They talked about maybe the gods were extraterrestrials. Maybe they were talking about the Sumerian race being influenced by these extraterrestrial gods. And Zecharia Sitchin throws in there that there's this Nibiru planet that comes around every 3,600 years or 1,200 years. I apologize for the dates, but yeah, it pretty much states that this planet comes around, affects our magnetic field on the Earth, plays a whole bunch of different havoc across this beautiful world, and could eventually lead to the demise of the human race at 2012. So that's that in a nutshell. Yeah, I'll throw it back to Brandon at this point, or Brendan, sorry.
Yeah, it's Brendan.
Yeah.
It's all good. Basically, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, talking about the movie, talking about 2012, the movie, a lot of people see that, and they just like, yes, I'm going to go see it because I liked Independence Day, because I like Day After Tomorrow, because it's the same guy who made that, and it looks good for the special effects. But no, in a nutshell, I do not think that 2012 is going to happen, and in my opinion, 2012 is nothing different from Y2K, and Y2K didn't happen, therefore 2012 is just a media play. It's understandable that that's where people come from. And like I said, a lot of those people, like, even in the trailer, it's weird in the trailer, it's at the end, it's like, find out for yourself, Google 2012. But like I said, if you do that, like, that's gonna throw you way off course, because there's a lot of weird information out there, and that it's hard to say for certain what is true, what is false. I mean, that's the whole idea, is that they kind of want you to make your own opinion, but more so for the movie, they want you to speculate the fact that it's possible, so to speak. Again, like, the movie's not trying to say that, I don't know, I mean,
it's trying to say.
Well, I mean, that's the point. The movie's not trying to say that, like, yes, there will be a doomsday. It's trying to say that, yes, we're blatantly marketing the fact that a doomsday is an interesting movie topic. But one thing in that sense, with the movie, the director of the movie, this is something that I saw in an interview once, and he basically, like I said, this is a guy who did Day After Tomorrow, this is a guy who did Independence Day. when he approached this movie, he wanted to do it as a doomsday end of the world movie. Literally, that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to amp it up to the next level and do an entire world doomsday movie. He started the movie, he started production on it, and then he found out about the 2012 prophecy. So at that point, it was worked into the movie in that sense. So I mean, this guy was set on destroying the world. 2012 is just a date he happened to associate with it.
It's the vessel.
Yeah, it was the vessel for this marketing ploy. One thing that is interesting, and this was pointed out to me by a friend, is that in the trailer for 2012, one of the first trailers, you see all of these major institutions being destroyed in the trailer. You see the Jesus statue in Brazil. It's in Brazil, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see the Jesus statue in Brazil crumbling. You see what is it? It starts with a V. The Vatican. Yeah. No. There's like a specific building, I think. But no, I think it is the Vatican. It's like rolling over people. And then you see like, does the White House get blown up?
No, I'm pretty sure there's Tibetan monks in there running away.
Yeah. But basically, it's kind of like this idea that like, I've heard this before. Is that like, there are people who are kind of involved in writing stories for Hollywood who kind of know some stuff, who've kind of done research on stuff. And basically it's like they're kind of like working in their perceptions subliminally, literally subliminally, into trailers, advertisements, stuff like that. But what I'm trying to say is it's interesting in the trailer how all these major institutions, these religions, are crumbling. What does that mean? Could it mean that in the future it's like this idea that religion is going to be replaced with some sort of new perception, something that isn't constricted to these concrete beliefs that divide one religion from another? This is something that I think we can get into. I think at this point, we might as well just talk about consciousness. What is consciousness? At this point, guys, we'll continue finishing our discussion on 2012 for another 3 minutes, and then we'll have a separate discussion on consciousness. If you want to check that out now, by all means, link is probably on the page. Feel free to jump to that, because I guarantee you that will be interesting. That's why I have something more to say. But yeah, 2012, feel free to check out the opinions of all the people who we have interviewed, what they have to say about it as well. Basically, there's more to it, and I think we can talk about the Mayans some more. Who are the Mayans? What did they know? Because I mean, a lot of what people think about it, and it's kind of weird because I have a friend who thinks this, and he's like, anyone who's lived in the past is considered savage to who we are today. Now, that's a crippling idea. That's a crippling perception to think that just because we are further down the timeline from people, to presume that we are more advanced in the sense of understanding reality, so to speak. Yes, we may have cars with wheels. No, we might not understand where we fit into within this reality. In that sense, the Mayans are well known for their astronomy, their numerology, their understanding of the stars, their understanding of the planet within the solar system, and especially sacred geometry. Their entire city is built on proportions of sacred geometry. Now, what is sacred geometry? I guess we can include a link for that, for what is sacred geometry, or we'll have something linked through that in some way or another. But my point is that the Mayans had an understanding of reality. They understood their place within it. They understood that life works in cycles. Life is formed through vibrations and such and such. And that 2012 was a significant day because it represented the shift from one cycle to the next. Do you want to say something, Rob?
No, you're doing a great job, man.
That's the thing, like honestly, I mean, for the people like who are watching this, who are legitimately watching this, because I mean, this is kind of designed for you to watch this on your spare time. Now, it's hard to say, like, will people have time to watch 10-minute videos? Hopefully they will, because I mean, hopefully we can find the time to do this in the midst of all our homework that we're doing. Hopefully we can find the time. And I mean, in that sense, like, I'm trying to keep this concise. I'm trying not to waste people's time. But basically, if I had to say anything more about 2012 within the last 30 seconds, yeah, I mean, to understand what might theoretically happen in 2012 is to have a better understanding of consciousness, to have a better understanding of reality, to have a better understanding of how reality works, and our potentials within this reality, and what may happen through a sense of awareness, through a sense of where we stand within this reality as individuals and collectively as a whole, so to speak. But yeah, that's about it. So.